Hey, so in my last video I gave a brief overview on how I lost 20 pounds driving a truck. This video I break down a little bit further into behind the keto concept and how it worked and how I applied it to my life while driving a truck, and how I'd like to share it with you. So I know it's a little lengthy, it's a little long, but please watch it and continue to watch. Hopefully you'll find something in here that you can use in your life as well, and maybe improve your health. But keep watching. Thank you. The light keeps falling down. That's the wonderful things about living on a truck. But anyhow, let me see. So I was talking about my eyes. Real quick. My vision, I couldn't see. And I had LASIK surgery done a couple years ago, so I have perfect vision. I couldn't think straight. I'd get all shaky and jittery, and I know that was from those sugar highs and peaks. So I started reading, obviously, about things, and my sister had mentioned to me maybe I was pre-diabetic. Said some things like my arms would go numb at night when I'm sleeping, my hands would go numb, and then it got to where just during the day they would go numb. So I really started getting worried that maybe I was pre-diabetic, but I knew it was because I had all this extra weight on me. I just knew it had to do something with weight and sugar. So I started looking into the pre-diabetes thing, and I got a blood glucose thing. I was watching my blood glucose just to kind of see what was going on. And I still don't understand it all right. It would be like, sometimes up to 120, 101 to 120. I don't know if that's good or bad or what not. I still don't understand. But all that's gone now. I don't have any of that. I don't have brain fog. I don't have cognitive dysfunction. I can see clearly again, just like the first day after I got surgery. I don't have those shaky, jittery feelings. I don't feel like I need to eat something to control, like, I don't know how to explain this. If anybody's ever felt that, like, I just don't feel good and I need to eat something that'll make it feel better. It could be I feel jittery and shaky, like you had too much coffee. That's how I feel. I feel like I had too much coffee, too much caffeine, and I was just, so I need to eat something that'll calm that down. That'll soak up caffeine and just kind of help calm me down. So that would be like the cycle of my eating habits, and it was not healthy. Well, what that is those sugar spikes, that insulin spikes, up and down is what I was going through, and that's carb dependency. That's being dependent upon carbs. So my body, just like most everybody else on the American diet, had become dependent on running on carbs. So carbs are a fast burning energy, and you go through it really fast. That's why you want to eat again real soon, and that's why you start feeling like crap when you don't eat. So you're constantly eating, but it's quick. It's up and quick and up. So I started looking at different things. I looked at the adrenal dysfunction, and I came across the keto thing. And I had dismissed keto before because I thought, well, it sounds like Atkins, and I did Atkins. I don't want to do that again. Well, I started looking more into it, and it's more refined than Atkins, and it's a lot healthier. You're going to have a lot more vegetables that you can eat, because that's where you're going to get your carbs from. And you're going to have fats. High, good quality fats is what it focuses on, and moderate proteins. And it also educates you a little bit more on just those three simple things. For example, you want to get your high fats from good sources like avocado oil, fish oil, olive oil. Any of your fishes is good. Even your beef and pork and poultry fats are good too. but you want to try to limit it to wholesome sources. Now, most of the professionals out there will say, you want to get your organic, range-free, grain-free, all those buzzwords. That's great. I still don't trust those labels, so I have a really hard time with that. But then again, I was raised on a ranch or around farming, or where we hunted our own food. So our food was truly natural, hormone-free, all that stuff. That was the true stuff. So I still have a hard time with the labels because I don't believe them. So you can take that and your conscience and whatever you want to do with it. I don't get too deep into that because, like I just said, I don't trust those labels. And just because the one says organic and hormone-free, cage-free, all that stuff is right next to the other brand of eggs, I bet you 1,000,000 times to 1 they came from the same source. They may have just been one step over and they were let out 1 hour a day, or they didn't use pesticides in this field, but they did in the field right next to it. So that's a whole different side to everything that I'm not even going to get into. But what I will tell you is it did teach me, again, you want to try to get the natural whole things, but you want to stay away from oils like cottonseed oil, all your vegetable oils. And some of you probably already know this, but I didn't. I was, brainwashed into believing that oil is better than Crisco, and Crisco is better than lard. Margarine's better than butter. So oil is okay. Vegetable oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, cottonseed oil, safflower oil, all of those are preferable to Crisco. Well, they're not. They are created at such a high heat that the molecular damage that it does to the oil is 10 times worse than anything you can put in your body. Anything else you can put in your body. Nicotine, anything. It's worse than that. So that is the first thing I cut out of my diet, next to the grains and sugars. So I'm going on a rampant about this stuff. Some of this stuff is very interesting, and like I said, it's very educational, and I'll share more of that as I go on. But let me get back to the meat and potatoes of this, or the gravy, whatever. So what I wanted is, because I had talked to, I've been talking to some people, and I was just a little astounded, I guess because I've done so much research and so much into this that I changed my whole lifestyle, really. And when I talked to other people, this was all new to them. And I tried to explain to them how it could improve their life and their health. And I got pushback on it and excuses like why they couldn't do it. And I thought, that's just ridiculous. I'm sharing with you a solution for your problems that you're telling me about, but you're telling me it's not possible for you to do it, basically. I heard excuses like, oh, well, it's so expensive to eat healthy. Oh, you have to buy all this product and stuff. Oh, it's just so hard and confusing. And I'm like, no, it's really not. And it's not expensive. My grocery bill has been cut in half, guaranteed, because I'm not buying all the junk food, all the fillers, all the crap that's overpriced to begin with and has no nutritional value. So for one, I eat less because I'm getting more nutrient-dense foods, and I'm paying less. So I can buy $20 worth of groceries and get more nutrients in that than $50 worth of groceries that is damaging my body, if that makes sense. So have you ever heard of the shop the outside aisles of the store? That's guaranteed. That's the only places I ever go in the store now. I never go down the middle, never, except for maybe bottled water. That's it. We go from dairy, meat, vegetables. That's it. And like I said, our grocery bill is cut in half, if not more. It's not hard to do, and it's not restricting. It's amazing how many good things you can have on here. For one, butter. You can put butter on everything. The more butter you put on your food, the faster you're going to lose weight, because this is what happens. So go back to when I was talking about my body was carb dependent, and I needed those frequent bursts of carbs to keep me going. It's like a locomotive. Think of that. It's a locomotive burning fuel, right? So you have to keep putting fuel in it to keep it going. So if you're putting a bunch of wads of paper and kindling into that locomotive, sure, it's going to burn fast and hot, right? So you're going to get these spurts of energy. But then it's going to go away quickly. So you have to keep putting it in. But if you were to put in a locomotive, I know probably isn't a good analogy, but the concept's still the same. If you were to put a long burning thick log in there, it will go for a long time at a steady pace. So anybody who has, cut wood or created a fire knows the different types of wood, right? So you can have kindling, which is your little thin pieces of firewood that you start the fire with. It's especially if it has a lot of sap in it, it's a great fire starter because it burns hot and fast. It's like a flash, but it goes quickly. So you have to put some other wood on top of there. Well, those bigger pieces of wood, the better quality that you get, the better furnace you're going to have, or the better heat you're going to have for your furnace. For example, most of you probably will not get this analogy, but if you take pine and compare it to oak, oak is going to burn longer. Pine is not. I'm probably getting way off board here. Let's just go with basic firewood versus paper, okay? If you put paper into a campfire, it's going to burn up really fast and hot, fast and hot. You put that log on there, it's going to burn slow and steady. That's what fat burning does. It burns slow and steady, whereas the carb is the paper, okay? So we want to transition our bodies to be fat burning bodies. So first you're going to increase your fat intake, which will transition your body into resetting itself, basically. So right now it's in starvation mode, and it thinks it needs to keep these carbs coming in because we're going to go into a famine, and I need to stock up all this energy. Well, now our bodies are basically broken, and that's all they know how to burn. So when you start giving it fat, it starts releasing this energy and thinking, okay, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I don't have to store all this fat. I can let it go. So then it starts burning its own fat. Then you can start tailoring off how much fat you put into your body. Not a lot. If you just want to tailor it off, it doesn't have to be so extreme, because now your body's burning its own fat. Amazing, huh? Absolutely amazing. In the process, it's going to release ketones. Ketones is the product of burning the fat. Your brain functions on ketones, not carbs. So think about that. Remember when I talked about the cognitive dysfunction and the foggy brain? It's because my body was burning on carbs, and my brain cannot burn on carbs. It can't function on carbs. It has to have ketones. Now that my body is burning fat, producing ketones, I can think a lot clearly now. I can see better. I think that was because of retinal damage I was causing to my eyes from all the sugar. But so I think that's the gist. I don't want to ramble too long. I don't want to lose you. I really want people to follow this and to catch on. Like I said, it dawned on me that just because I had dived into this and really learned all I could about it, and I'm still so much more I want to learn, I just thought, well, this is the normal now. This is my lifestyle, that I've changed what I do and how I eat, and I feel better. So when I talked to other people and I got pushback, I was just blown away. And I had to tell myself, Tiffany, not everybody has heard of this and they don't know about it. So I want to share with you, and I want you to explore this and look at how you're damaging your health with the modern American diet. Inflammation is the number one cause. Well, I'm not going to say that because that's probably a technical professional term. But I would say it's the number one cause of most of all of our pains and aches. Our joint pain, muscle pain, everything, headaches, organ function, everything is caused from inflammation. And inflammation comes from all that freaking sugar you're putting into your body. So again, back to my truck driving experience. So I'm driving sometimes I'm sitting behind that wheel up to 8 hours. I can legally sit behind that wheel for 8 hours without stopping. That's a long time to go. I think the most I've gone is 6. No, I've gone 8 a couple times, but 4 or 5 hours alone is a long stretch without getting out and at least stretching. But the thing about, I would try to go 3 to 4 hours to begin with. I could barely get up out of the seat because I was so stiff. My hips hurt, my knees hurt. I couldn't hardly walk from all the inflammation. And now I'm out walking people, and it's just amazing to me. I've always been frump girl, you know. And one thing I noticed when we went to Niagara Falls, and we'd gone down to look at one side of the falls, and we were going to go to the other, and there was a little bit of a climb. It wasn't bad, but there's a little incline, and then some steps, and a little bit more incline. And we're walking along, and there were some people walking in front of me. They were going slow, and so I just went right around them, and right up there. And I thought, 6 months ago, I would not have been able to do that. I would not. I would have huffed and puffed up that damn thing. And now it's not a problem. And I'm still overweight. I am still overweight from my body size, my frame, and my height. But just losing that extra weight and getting rid of the inflammation that was plaguing my body, I feel so much better. So please keep watching my videos. Go back and watch my other ones. They're kind of kooky and corny and goofy, and they're hit and miss, but I just did what I could. I shared what I could, when I could, as I could. I did a 21-day reset by following Mark Sisson, his protocol, and I kind of go through that with the videos. Now, it's not spot on, but it gives you a general idea. I'm going to go forward again, and I'm looking at some different people's protocols or whatnot. I might just follow my own. But I like to follow what other people have done, follow the footsteps of other successful people, because if they were successful, why should I try to reinvent the wheel? But I want you to follow along with me too, and if I can inspire anybody to try to apply this in their life, then I'll be happy. I look at some people that are aging faster than they should be, and family, friends, people that I care about, and I'm concerned because I want them to live longer, and I want to share this with people. If I can help somebody's life improve, that would be awesome. Just because I feel like I have discovered like a little piece of a secret, fountain of youth or whatnot. Like, I don't know. It's kind of dumb. It's stupid, but it gives me inspiration also to continue on with my health journey. So. That's kind of that. Follow along. Please go back and watch my other videos. look up a couple people. I listen to a lot of YouTube while I'm driving because I can dial in on specifically what I want to listen to, but I also do a lot of audio books as well. And three of the main people that I follow along with, actually there's four. So for you truckers, you know Road Dogg, you know Kevin Roethlisberger, whatever his name is. I really admire him and I want to follow him a lot. I want to get, my whatever it is, functional medicine. I'm really thinking about following that path as well because there's so much to health that we've been lied about. And so anyways, there's Kevin from Road Dogg Trucking and Dr. Berg. I really enjoy his stuff. He has a lot of different things on not just keto, but just health. He wrote the book, Eat Right for Your Body Type. So he has some good stuff. And then there's Mark Sisson. So he was an Olympian runner. I think he was an Olympian runner who inflammation was plaguing his body, and his body was starting to break down because of all the wear and tear that running was doing to him. And he started doing the keto. He now does the carnivore thing. But I mean, these are all three professional people who have come across this, and they all say the same things. So anyways, look them up, follow me, see how I lost 20 pounds, and follow me as I lose 20 more. Thank you.